Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Robert, Anon, Philthos, Bob, Griffin, good to see you guys. Have so much information today to share with you. Hey, Lyle. Lyle says, I'm here. You may begin. Can you guys hear me okay? Everybody good? There's no thumbs up over on the like button. So just hit a 1 if you can hear me better because I adjusted my microphone. For those of you that weren't on the live stream yesterday, we now have a real microphone. And I would like to know if you can hear me or if I'm doing good. Okay, ones. Good. Boy, have I got some news for you guys. We've been talking a lot about how the travel restrictions would probably be harsh after Songkran. And hey, MedTech, good to see you. I have never been more happy to be wrong about something in my life. Never. It turns out that the travel restrictions are not all that harsh. And we're going to talk about those. But before we do, I want to read you a piece from the Pattaya News. Now, I did a bunch of research this morning on other websites. I'm gonna read that to you for sure. Philippines T-shirt. For some reason, YouTube wants me to hide that. Well, somebody let it go. Okay. I think I'm gonna auction that off, Philthos. Rocco, good morning. It's the journey. What's up, man? Good to see you. For those of you that weren't here yesterday, we had a tremendous, outstanding, super unbelievable live stream yesterday, and it was just wow. It was a surprise live stream. When I say surprise, I don't mean I tried to surprise people. I just mean that I didn't intend on it. I didn't intend to make it, but there was so much information I needed to get out to you guys. I felt like a live stream yesterday was appropriate. So I'll have some videos for you next week coming up to include Bolt, the new. It's not new, but it's a application here that's far cheaper than getting a grab car or a taxi. And yes, it's the journey. MedTech says you surprised me. Yesterday was incredible. Definitely was incredible. Big thanks to Jim Pale and also to Don. Don C. Don really he doubled down yesterday. It was amazing. Edwin, good morning. Good to see you, man. Time to do more life, and let's talk about how we're going to do that for sure. I want to start with an article from the Minister of Public Health, and he says, before I tell you what the travel restrictions are, hey, Roger, moaning. Sorry to hear that, bud. Griffin says, I saw the replay and you should be proud of your followers. I am immensely proud of my followers and the people on this channel that do the things that they do. It's amazing. I don't know how else to describe it, Griffin. But I went through, gratitude after gratitude yesterday, and it was just absolutely wonderful. I really appreciate what happened yesterday. Certainly going to be a big help, and I'm real grateful for it for sure. So before I get into the new set of travel restrictions, Lyle says he watched the whole thing earlier. Awesome. And by the way, channel members, before the month's up, I'm going to have at least 2 videos for you. We're also going to have a channel members live stream, so just keep that in mind if you're a channel member. More to come on that. So before I get into the new travel restrictions, I want to talk about some news that was made yesterday. Thai Minister of Public Health says all provincial governors will be given authority to declare curfews if they feel it is needed, but there is no national curfew. Now, that's going to be a little bit, I don't want to say contradictory, but we'll get into it more in just a few minutes, and you'll understand why that saying is maybe a little bit off. MedTech, Jeremy, you deserve the channel donation. I'm happy that many donate. I don't donate because I support my Thai girlfriend. That is already significant commitment. Forgive me. No. I understand, MedTech. I understand, brother. No problem. No problem at all. Speaking at a press conference this afternoon, Thai Minister of Public Health, I call him Mr. Enujan, stated that all provincial governors would be given the authority to declare curfews to control the spread if they felt it was needed for their province. He was responding to questions around increased measures to control the recent clusters that we had here in Thailand that has seen the country hit record numbers in cases in recent days. For example, we've had over 1,500 cases reported here. I believe for the last 3 days. I'm not sure what today's count was, but that was at least 2 days in a row when that happened. Although majority of cases, according to the ministry, are 18 to 29-year-olds and are asymptomatic or mild, the current cluster comes primarily from entertainment venues that started in the Bangkok area, according to the ministry. Mr. Anton stated there would be no national curfew, but pointed to the example of Samut Sakhon, which had previous outbreaks in their markets in December and January for individual curfew measures. That province instituted a curfew for just the province from 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. to assist in controlling the spread. He also stressed that each individual governor would be given the freedom to declare a curfew if they felt it was needed to control the illness, but again stated there would not be an overarching national curfew that would affect every resident in the country like last year. Now, that was before the detailed announcement came yesterday. So we're going to read the CCSA's official wording on this. Filtho says those water buffaloes add up. Yeah. Yes, they do. I'm sure Edwin says, I got my first C-shot today, and the next one's 3 weeks if I'm still alive. Good for you, Edwin. That's awesome, man. And Jay says, welcome to the club. That's good that you guys are going out and taking proactive measures to help yourself. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so as of this was written Friday, April 16th at 17:20. Thai government declares new control zones and increase control measures nationwide effective this upcoming Sunday. So this will be Sunday, April the 18th. And it's going to run through April the 30th. They expect to have this thing completely controlled in 2 weeks. So, yeah, good point, Rocco. We'll see who we think thinks that curfews are in order. I'm going to read you some alternative news sources today that I don't normally read, and that'll give you a better perspective on things, I think. I estimate that 50% actually goes to the family. Sorry to hear that, MedTech. So, here we go. The Thai government has declared the highest controlled zones in 18 provinces, including the Bangkok metropolitan area, which is, well, I live outside the metropolitan area, but Bangkok in itself is considered a red zone or a highly controlled zone. And implemented high control zones in remaining provinces nationwide, CCS spokesperson announced this afternoon. That was April 16th. The so-called red zone provinces are, and this is important for you to know if you are making plans for an ASQ stay or you're coming in looking for your 10-day queue, which I'll talk about that in tomorrow's live stream a little more in detail. They haven't changed anything as far as, to the best of my knowledge, they have not changed anything in terms of people coming over. So you can still do the 10-day. And I know Senior Frank, who drops by the channel every once in a while, is doing a 7-day. The deal with the 10-day and the 7-day is supposed to be, I don't know if this is the correct in every case, but this is how it's supposed to work. If you do a 10-day queue, that would mean that you have not been inoculated yet. In other words, you hadn't got both your magic shots. If you do a 7-day, you show proof that you've been inoculated or have both of your magic shots. And I think you qualify. Well, I know then you qualify for the 7-day queue, which to the people that have done the 14-day queues, I think the 7-day queues are going to be pretty much a blessing for that. And trust me, guys, when you hear these non-restrictive restrictions, like, this is nothing that I thought that Thailand was going to do. I thought Thailand was going to go into full lockdown mode. That's what I thought. And I've never been happier to be wrong, to be totally honest with you. So let me continue here. The so-called red zone provinces are Bangkok, Khon Kaen, Chonburi, Chiang Mai, Tak, Nakhon Pathom, Nakhon Ratchasima, Nonthaburi, Pathum Thani, Prachuap Khiri Khan, Phuket, Rayong, Songkhla, Samut Prakan, Samut Sakhon, Sakao, Suphanburi, and Udon Thani. Forgive me for the pronunciation, but those are the 18 provinces with red zone measures. If you look at a map of Thailand right now, it's basically got the latest map that I saw was basically the 18 red zone provinces, and everything else is in orange. Yes, so am I, MedTech. I'm glad I wasn't stuck in the Philippines. Now, here comes your official announcement on the restrictions. Okay, so according to the announcement, all provinces, that means everywhere, not just the 18 I talked about, but everywhere. If you're enjoying this content, hit the thumbs up button. But all provinces must conduct strict regulations as follows. Closures of classrooms and buildings at all schools and educational institutions except for exams in international schools and for other potential use under the requirements of the Disease Control Act. Closure of nightlife venues and entertainment venues countrywide, including pubs, bars, and massage parlors. It says soapies on there. So, to the best of my knowledge, your traditional massage or professional massage places are still open. I haven't seen them close yet. And this goes for all provinces for at least 14 days. Closure of department stores and shopping malls at 9. Okay, so see, there is a curfew for certain things, but there's not a nationwide curfew, as in you have to stop doing what like everybody has to be inside by a certain time, that kind of thing. Robert, thank you for dropping the PayPal link. We have seen evidence of bought equipment. I don't have it. If you watched the live stream yesterday, you saw some of the equipment I bought. I'm going to do that Fortune Town video. I will pin your comment to the top of the screen. Thank you very much for putting that up there. We don't ask for PayPals, but sometimes we get PayPal challenges, and sometimes we get contributions, super chats, and other things that help keep the channel running. Just like yesterday, it was a very good day. And with the plans I have for this channel, continuing to help it grow monetarily always helps out, but not a requirement. You've been waiting for the Fortune Town content. It's coming, Robert. It'll be next week, but it's coming. I promise. So the closure of department stores and shopping malls at 9 p.m. The closure of amusement parks as well as game zones, playgrounds, and similar attractions in all department stores. No teaching and learning in a classroom at all in educational institutions. No large gathering and events for more than 50 people without permission from the Public Health Provincial Office. Now, this is a big deal because this is a much larger number of people than was originally set forth by Thailand during the first and second times that they did this, for sure. And I said some of these provinces make no sense to me. For example, anytime they had a total of 1 case, Kankan 8, 11, which is orange 17. Go to the tiger.com, guys, because it has that word in the link there, and I'm going to remove it just because YouTube is going crazy with censorship. They literally came out with a video that said they will remove your entire channel and all of your content. Everything will be taken down if you produce anything that they consider craziness. They said they don't have, if you don't represent YouTube well, then they can take your channel down. I put the link to the video yesterday. I sent it to a few people, but all you have to do is go to YouTube Creators. That's the channel, YouTube Creators, and watch their latest video. It's unbelievable. So sorry about that, guys. Quantal, good to see you. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I'm very sorry. Well, if I look so ragged, why are you looking at me? Anon says, fair enough, JC. Title was Friday CK's provided by. I know. I'm familiar with what you were talking about. It's all a YouTube thing, man. Filtho says, by law, I don't think the decisions are allowed to make sense, as that would be a violation of Thai national identity. The decisions are allowed to make sense. That would be a violation of national identity. Can you explain that a little bit further, Filthos? I'm very interested in that. Alan, what's up? Good to see you, man. Also, big one here. No selling alcoholic beverages in all serving places / restaurants. So, no serving of alcohol. All restaurants must limit the number of customers according to social distancing measures and must follow social distancing restrictions strictly. Closure of all restaurants for dining in at 9 p.m. Takeaway can be allowed until 11 p.m. Closure of supermarkets and convenience stores at 11 p.m. These places can be reopened at 4 a.m. Closure of fitness centers, sports stadiums, and gyms at 9 p.m. So they're not closing these places down where people gather. They're just putting curfews on them. Competitions can take place but must be limited with the number of audiences according to the social distancing measures. Prohibition of selling alcoholic beverages in all serving places. That is for the red zone provinces. Okay, the ones I read you before were all private. All provinces have the closure of nightlife venues and entertainment venues countrywide, closure of department stores at 9, closure of amusement parks, no teaching and learning in the classroom, no large gathering with more than 50 people, no selling alcoholic beverages in all serving places. All restaurants must limit the number of people. Those are nationwide. Then the red zone provinces are the closures to the fitness centers at 9 p.m., closure of supermarkets at 11, closure of restaurants for dining in at 9 p.m. Takeaway can be allowed until 11. Yes. let's see here for a sec. Let me catch up with in the comment section, guys, because I want to read a few things real quick. One second. All right. So we have, let me catch up on the comments and then we'll get back to the news. And then says, Phil throws true that, but better than 3 months solid LD like last year. Yeah, I got you. Filtho says, making sense. ID, not what ties do. Okay. Got you on that one. Edwin says, I think sooner or later everyone will get the CV. I think so too. I think the shot will lessen the blow on your person just like the flu. Possibly. Michael says, I'll at work. What's up, everyone? Sorry you're at work, Michael, but we're having a pretty good discussion here and going to keep giving you more and more information. So if you want to listen, continue to listen, and I will continue to provide information. Anon says, closing at a certain hour actually makes sense. People tend to start acting sillier when it gets late. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I feel the same way. But like it's a 9 p.m. I don't know. I have a certain feeling about it. Talking to Rocco, I think things will be back to almost normal in a month. I hope so. I think so. I have not heard anything, Jay, about closing the Muay Thai fights. I have not heard anything about that. But there's a lot of information in here, and I'm going to get to it. Maybe it's got Muay Thai fights. MetTech says, had it, survived it, and still had vax because it's important. I'm with you on that one. As soon as I can get it, I'll get it myself. Okay, orange zone provinces. So this is basically the rest of the country, pretty much. Similar to red zone regulations, except that the closure of all restaurants for dining in at 11 p.m. All measures will be put in effect this Sunday, April 18th, and will initially last for, see, you got to read the wording, will initially last for at least 2 weeks until the end of April. So that doesn't mean it's going to last until the end of April. That means initially that's what they're shooting for, is the end of April. Despite no curfew or travel restriction implementations, people are being highly advised to limit their movement and conduct work from home as much as possible. Governors have the ability to strengthen rules but not weaken them, and governors are expected to meet to discuss this in the next day or so. Some provinces could have additional rules as a result. So that is basically where the country stands right now. That's kind of it in a nutshell, so to speak. I want to read you an article that I got sent to me by Dino this morning, and I appreciate him sending this. This is about flights, and I think you guys will find this interesting. While it loads, I want to say I want to agree with Roger there. Good job, MetTech. 100%. I think that's the right mindset to have, and we're very, very, very glad that you survived and everything is well, all well and good. Very happy to hear that. Let's see. Anon says, JX, they say gatherings over 50 people are banned. Yep. That's true. Jason Lowe, hadn't seen you before. Welcome. 2 weeks to sort it all out is a bit unrealistic. A month to 6 weeks more plausible. You know, I'm very much tempted to agree with you, or I'm inclined to agree with you there. We'll see. That's all I can say. I think your logic makes sense. I don't, maybe Thailand has some type of control measure that we're not aware of right now, where they can get this thing completely controlled and move it back forward. I'm going to read some stuff on economics later. That was published by I think Bloomberg, and it's about how bad Thai's economy is right now, and it's bad, guys. I mean, it is bad. So they, you know, they got to roll out the magic shots, and they got to let people back in the country. Tourism has never been more important to Thailand than it is right now. They got to get people back in here. I'm going to go into that later. So, Jason, you make a legit point, and it is what it is. Filtho says, I'm actually putting off getting the magic shot. Would hate to get it, have 3 months pass, and have to get it again just to meet the within 3 months rule to get into Thailand. I can understand that as well. That's a measure that Thailand currently has. I don't know if that measure will stick. I'm not sure. It's certainly something to look into. And outside of that, I really don't know what else to say about that situation. And I says, if people do the right thing, they'll lighten up fairly quickly. If ISO people act like they're above the law and spread, then it may be extended. I agree with your statement, Anon. That's a good comment. MedTech says, thank you, Mr. McGee. Jack, good to see you, Jack. Someone said Phuket was cheaper to live in than Dumaguete in the Philippines, condo, food, utilities, etc. What do you think? No. Phuket's fairly expensive, and if you want to go to a place with, like Kamala in Phuket, that's arguably the most expensive place to live in Thailand. And that's in Phuket. Phuket's expensive in general. It's more expensive than its counterpart, Pattaya. And Dumaguete cannot be. I never lived in Dumaguete. I had plenty of friends that lived there, but I did live in Cebu, and living in Dumaguete can't be any more pricey than it was living in Cebu. I had everything that I wanted in Cebu, and even living here in Thailand is actually a little bit cheaper than it was living in Cebu. So I can't imagine that the living in Dumaguete would be or living in Phuket would, in my opinion, would be more expensive than living in Dumaguete. Anna says, Filthos, in addition, one of the magic shot companies is saying you will need a booster in 6 months. Yep, I've heard that too. And if that's the case, it is what it is. Andy, good to see you. Definitely a long time no see. I'm busy installing a new dishwasher. Okay, sounds good, man. You're welcome, Jack. Check this out. Dino sent me a. This is from the real world. This is for all you international people that fly Qantas. It says Qantas to resume international flights by the end of October 2021. So, Australian airline Qantas says it plans to resume international flights by the end of October 2021. It's positive news for keen Australian travelers whose borders have been closed since March of last year. In the half-year financial results, Qantas confirmed its plans to fly internationally again by autumn. Both Qantas and Jetstar, the company's lower-price carrier, plan to relaunch international travel to most of their former routes by or before October 31st. The timing aligns when Australia's Magic Shot program is expected to finish. Of course, if the situation changes, the dates to resume international flights will be revised too. So, where will they fly? First of all, Qantas will ramp up Trans-Tasman flights between Australian cities and New Zealand by July. Both countries have very low rates of it due to their hotel queue schemes, and are starting to allow exclusive international travel where passengers can bypass queue on arrival between the two. It's the first step for both as they slowly reopen borders. By the end of October 2021, Qantas plans to resume international flights on 22 of its 25 international routes. That includes international travel to cities such as Los Angeles, Johannesburg, and London. Sibling airline Jetstar will bring back all 13 of its routes flying to places like Bangkok, Seoul, and Tokyo by October 31st. So I wanted to let you guys know that piece of information in case you fly Qantas. I thought that was very valuable, and thanks to Dino for sending me that piece of information, as I very, very, very much appreciate it. Now, I think I lost the comments, so let's go back up and check the comments here. It's the journey. I lived in Surat Thani, Chumpon province. When I talk, Jeremy, what's the cost for Hua Hin? Thanks. I've only been to Hua Hin once. I think that Hua Hin is it's a little more expensive than you would think it. For the city that it is, it's a little more expensive than you would think it should be. That's kind of the way I feel about it. But if you like, a laid back atmosphere and a lot of expats, Hua Hin is the place for you. Because there are a ton of expats in Hua Hin. Personally, that's just not my thing. Cost of living in Hua Hin, not really sure, but I would imagine it would be something that I would imagine it's a little bit higher than you would like to pay. This was pre madness, right, when I was in Hua Hin, and I think that the hotel prices were really high. Some of the rents I saw in places there were much higher than I would pay. However, that may be what you desire, and if so, then it is what it is. Now, let's see here. Filto says that Anon, they pass up a chance to ring their cash register again. Anon says Jack Hayden may be 10,000 baht for a place in Phuket, 1,000 baht for electric. If you eat like a Thai, you can do it for 18,000 baht a month easy. I don't know. I live in a very small condo, very small. It's like 23 square meters, and my electric bill has never been 1,000 baht. And I don't run the air conditioner all day and all night. I do. Well, I run it all night, but not all day. Certainly not when I'm working. And you include everything else. I don't know. You might be able to do it. Could be able to do it in Phuket. I'm not gonna debate that point, because when it comes to cost of living, here's the rule on cost of living. Okay, cost of living is whatever you want it to be. If you want to live a large life, if you want to live in a nice, big fancy condo, then you're gonna pay more money. If you want to live, or if you want to eat out all the time, if you don't want to eat Thai food, if you want to eat other foods, it's going to cost more money. If you spend a lot of time in the air conditioning, run a lot of electronic equipment, your electric bill is going to be higher. It depends. Are you going to live in a place that gets the government rate, which is usually the best rate, or are you going to live in a place that has their own set rate for electricity, which can make it very high? These are all questions that you have to answer. What do you want to go out and do things? Spend money? Do you want to travel the country? All that is involved in cost of living. So it's pretty much entirely up to you. Edwin says, Jeremy, when flying to Puerto Rico, you must get tested 3 days before your flight. Yep. Certificate of entry here requires the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. Anon says that Filters design obsolescence. I know the collar jab's only good for 6 months. Hep is good for 2 years, so not unbelievable. Agreed. Andy says, yeah, that Qantas news release has been all over the news in the last week. I'm still very suspect. I think there is a Singapore or New Zealand travel bubble in the works. I read about that travel bubble, so I can agree with that. Anon says, it's the journey. Depends on how close you want to live to the beach. 20,000 Thai baht if you're near the beach. You can do Thai baht 5,000 for the same thing a few kilometers away from the beach. That's true. Andy says Cham is better than Hua Hin. Hua Hin is on the pricey side. Lots of Bangkok holiday makers there. That's definitely a fact. It's the Journey says, expats, no, no thanks. I'll stick to less touristy and entitled folks. Cham would be a good option. Cham's a nice place, it really is. Anon says, DoMoreLife, just got my electric bill for my townhouse for March, $974 Thai baht per month. Good for you, bud. I haven't been able to do it. I have not been able to do it. So, I'm glad you have, for sure. How you get by on 974, I don't know. I don't think I've had an electric bill under 1,200 baht since I've been in Bangkok, but good for you, man. Seriously, good for you. No, Tim, this is not a replay. This is live. Good to see you, man. MetTech says that IHOP, thinking of you guys. Oh, man, that's so sweet. I want to go to IHOP. I miss IHOP. Filtho says, talking about travel, the October departure, December return flight from here to Bangkok is down to $763 for a 33-hour flight. Qatar is still at $1083. That's even for 33 hours for that price is not bad, really. Anon says, it's the Journey. Cham has a nice mix of expat and Thai. That's true. Smaller town than Hua Hin. I like it so far. Yep. I liked it when I was there. I didn't stay very long. Rocco says, question is, are we going to live with this mask and shot for the foreseeable future? Probably. Lyle says 12 up, 2 down. Good. We got the same 2 trolls that we had yesterday. That's good. You guys feel free to hit the thumbs up button and make me feel all warm and fuzzy. That would be great. It's the Journey says, thanks to Anon. Champon was too small. I will check out Cham. I think you'll like that. And as always, Anon gives great advice on Thailand, period. MetTech says, yes, replay just for you. And says, to me, Cham is not as hot as Bangkok. Use the fan except at night. Ocean breeze. Good point. Very good point. Very, very good point. Roger says he'd be interested in seeing some of the townhouses in Cham and the cost, looking for a 2-bedroom. That's not a bad idea. Lyle says, Tim, you should see the replay from yesterday. Yeah, you should. It was amazing. Tim says, our governor in New Hampshire just announced he is doing away with the mask mandate in my state. More interesting news. Where were we on the... Okay, so this is from the Pattaya. It's good stuff. This is DoMoreLife. That's right, Tim. You tell him, buddy. I want to read this because many people on this channel enjoy Pattaya, and this is something you need to know. Pattaya mayor addresses Chambéry becoming a red zone. Pattaya Music Festival has been postponed. It says Chambéry province will, as of Sunday, April 18th, officially become one of the 18 provinces that is designated as a red zone in Thailand, which means the highest controlled zone for the illness measures. The Pattaya city mayor, I can't say his name, addressed the status change and told the Pattaya News told the Pattaya News and Associated Thai Media this afternoon the number of confirmed cases in Chambéry is in the top 5 highest number of cases in the country. 5 rules that provinces in the red zone must follow are restaurants must close at 9 p.m. and serving alcohol is not allowed. The closure of all entertainment venues like bars and nightclubs, which are a main feature of Pattaya City. Shopping malls can open, but playing zones, arcades, etc. are not allowed, and the mall must close by 9 p.m. The closure of educational places and schools, and finally places for exercising, can be opened, but must limit the number of people and reduce their hours, closing at 9 p.m. Additionally, supermarkets and convenience stores like 7-Eleven must be closed between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. In red zones effective as of Sunday, April 18th, there is no curfew, however, the mayor stated. So, however, we are participating in meetings with the Chambry governor to discuss the potential for further measures for Chambry. Already, we made the decision previously as a province to close cinemas. We may have to take more related measures to control the situation, the mayor said, without specifically addressing what those measures might be. The Pattaya Music Festival scheduled for May has been postponed, the same as other similar festivals that cannot limit the number of people. We're also going to cancel the majority of the traditional Wan Lai events that was Songkran we had scheduled for April 19th, as they involve pouring water on monks and the elderly, and that is a risky activity at the present time. They would also involve groups of larger than 50 people, which is another measure set by the Thai government to control activity in red zones, the mayor explained. However, the Kite on the Beach event from April 9th to 19th will continue, as the event is at an open place, as well as the Food Culture Business Exposition located in front of Central Festival. Both of these events will follow strict social distancing rules and require masks at all times, as they are outdoor events with plenty of space. The chance of any spread is remote, according to the Chambry Department of Public Health, the mayor concluded. The Pattaya News notes that Jet Ski World Cup scheduled for next weekend was not specifically discussed, but as it is an outdoor event on Jamtien Beach in the ocean, the event is likely to continue with reduced fans or no fans at all, and with less street activities. So if you were planning on going to those places or doing any of those things, that is some information that you could potentially give to someone. Now let me catch back up because I missed a whole bunch of comments. Let's see. Lyle says, Tim, you should. Oh, I got that one. Tim says, I got that one. Tim says, Lyle, good stuff. Well, of course, good stuff. Do more life. Yeah, we were definitely doing more life yesterday for sure. Jay says, how is Wahin? It looks pretty cool, but slow. We just talked about Wahin, Jay. Lots of expats. A little bit more on the pricey side. Right now, it may be a little bit slow. I'm not sure. But it will pick back up as soon as everybody's had their magic shot and everything is working as it's supposed to. Anon says, Roger McGee, they have a few on Rent Hub and other property sites. Best thing is to get a condo on a short-term basis and get to know some local people who can steer you in the right direction. That's good advice. MedTech says, I disliked Rayong. So did I. I lived there for 16 months, I think. And I wasn't happy in Rayong. That's why I spent so much time in Pattaya. It was very easy to get to Pattaya from Rayong. David, hello. Welcome to the stream. Roger McGee says, thanks. Anon says, Roger, I think there is one in my area. Spot bids for sale, 1.2 million, but not 100%. Tim says, may I ask what the correlation is between the V and alcohol? Well, typically people that get drunk don't wear their mask and don't social distance, and that's their thinking is if they ban the alcohol, they ban the stupid part that comes with getting intoxicated. Roger says, I'm not looking to buy. I don't want to be tied down again. I don't blame you, Roger. And I said, Tim, sometimes people act stupid under the influence. Agreed. Roy, hey, Roy. Anon, yes, you're right. Some condos, you can check out the condos in person. Can't beat the boots on the ground. I agree with that 100%. I found every place I've lived in, with the exception of this one, by walking boots on the ground. Roger says people tend to tend not to follow the rules when they're drinking. 100%. Jack Hayden says thumbs up. Yes, please, by all means, thumbs up. Tim says, Anon, so it is just that. I mean, alcohol does not boost the V or anything, right? Not to my knowledge. I know you weren't talking to me, but not to my knowledge. Roy says Facebook Marketplace has hundreds of properties for rent or buy. That is accurate. I'm a member of that marketplace, and I want to encourage people to go over there and check it out. It's the journey correction, y'all. I've lived in Langswan, but the province was Chumpon. Made wonderful friends, but I want to be close enough to accessibility, but far away enough to have peace. I hear you, man. Roger says, how do you people highlight a person's name when you are addressing them? I'm on an iPhone. You have to hit the at symbol, and then type their name in as it appears on YouTube, or as it appears in the live stream, Roger. It's much easier to do on a computer, but you can also do it on a laptop. I mean, on a cell phone. It's the journey says, I think I'm the only lady in the group. And we have ladies bouncing in and out here in a while, every once in a while. So there's no worries about that. And you're welcome to be here, of course. David says, Singapore, New Zealand, Thailand bubble hurt as well. Yep, I read about that yesterday. Thailand was considering a travel bubble with Australia and New Zealand. And Singapore. They're just everything's a consideration right now. Andy says, drunk people don't socially distance, disregard rules at times, speak loudly to each other, dance, i.e. closely. People generally gather quite close when drinking. All these promote transmission. Well said, Andy. Well said. And I was explaining what I said. Roger got thumbs up. David said, my mate works at Qantas and said Bangkok is on the table. Good. I hope they start packing the flights back in. MedTech says the limitation of hours of business is counterproductive because it results in the same number of shoppers buying during a smaller daily time frame, hence concentrating person-to-person contact. I can't argue with you, that's for sure. That's a good point. Filto said, you said something that resonated with me. You spent so much time in Pattaya because you were unhappy. I'm pretty happy wherever I go by. I find a lot of unhappy people in Pattaya pretending to be happy. I was actually happy when I was there. At that time, I had more money than at any other time I've had in Thailand. So I was able to spend and enjoy whatever I wanted to in Pattaya. Shopping and nightlife and going out with friends and all that stuff was no issue for me for the vast majority of the time I was there. And then that got cut, of course. And but I was still happy when I went to Pattaya. There's something about Pattaya that just going there, where most people see the environment as toxic. The environment to me is I receive it very well for some reason. Maybe it's to do with my old self, my old habits, that kind of thing. I don't participate in those habits anymore, but because it kind of reminds me of my old environment, maybe that's why it's well received. I'm not sure. So that may be one reason I like Pattaya so much. Another reason is I know Pattaya pretty well, and I'm comfortable getting around there, bot buses, cabs, whatever, taxis, whatever the case may be. And I says, but the best possible way for finding a place, finding a car, and so on is to get friends and network your way to find them. Absolutely. Networking here is the best. Yeah, Roger, it must not work on a cell phone. Because if you did that on a computer, it would definitely work. And I can see you, like you can talk to him that way, but it doesn't highlight. Roy says, Anon, yes, true. Too many Thai girlfriends can get. Gotcha. Yep. Sorry, I was reading messages coming in. Says, yes, true. To my Thai girlfriend can get better deals than I ever could. Speaking Thai helps a lot. Yes, it does. It definitely does. Robert Ann, how are you doing? Dino, I just read your article about the article you sent me about Qantas. Thank you so much for providing that information, brother. I really appreciate it. And I says, Roy Goad, very true. Many times I'll send my girlfriend to shop for me with me, nowhere in sight. I hear you. Gerald, what's up, buddy? Hadn't seen you in a long time. It's okay. Don't worry about being late. You can always catch the replay. Filtho says, do more life. I just mean people take their unhappiness there, but if they don't fix the real unhappiness, the best they do is push it down and try to hide it from themselves. 100% correct. 100% correct. That's the problem with most people is they're miserable and they think that a geographical change is going to make them not miserable. Boy, they don't realize is they're taking themselves with them everywhere they go. Now, for me, I was happy with myself and who I was. I just didn't like my environment in Rayong. So I would go up there to Patty on the weekends or on vacation or whatever, and just got to know the city and frankly got to know a lot of people there and made quite a few friends in the city. So it was a pleasure for me to go there. It wasn't a be anybody you want to be, although you can go to Pattaya and be anybody you want to be and lie to yourself and lie to other people and create a persona for yourself. Not a good idea, but you can do it. I had no interest in that. Anon says, Filthos, the ultimate expression is the Pattaya Flying Club Inc. Yes, it is. Dino says, if it's true, hopefully Pattaya for New Year's Eve. Love the fireworks. Yeah, me too, man. Those are some awesome fireworks. All right, so we've been over all the new stuff. Let me go to some alternative news sources that I came up with this morning. And we'll start with Thai Visa. Yes, Filthos, Flying Club is the unhappy and the stupid. More oftentimes, the stupid, I would think. So, this is from Thai Visa. It says, confirmed, no curfew or lockdown, but restrictions in place in all Thai provinces. So, like I said, you have the 18 Thai provinces that are red, and to the best of my knowledge, everything else is orange. It says Thailand's or the CCSA on Friday announced a series of new measures aimed at limiting the spread. I don't want to double speak here, but some of the measures introduced for the red zone provinces include all pubs, bars, karaoke, and entertainment venues are closed. We've been over the restaurants. See if there's anything else in here. Nope. For the orange zone provinces, just the timing that we've been over. And then the red zone, it gives a detailed list of the red zones. And provinces declared orange zones is all other provinces. So I am correct on that. They've designated all provinces in Thailand orange and 18 of them being red. So that's how they're planning to control. It says travel is strongly discouraged but not prohibited. People are urged to work from home where possible. The new measures come into effect on 0001, that's the time, on Sunday until the 30th of April 2021. This is a developing news story. The post will be updated without warning. So that is from Thai Visa. I wanted to read from the Bangkok Post had an interesting article. I'm going to catch these comments and then I'm going to read you something really, really interesting. How COVID spreaders to face legal action. And I cannot believe I just said that word out loud, so forgive me. But if you are we'll say a spreader, you can now face legal action. And I'm going to go into that after I catch this last series of comments. Tim says, it has taken me 54 years to finally be able to say that I like myself. I think I'm a pretty okay type person. Hey man, it takes some people never get there. So congratulations. Whether it took you 54 years or 34 years, congratulations on getting there. That's something that I still work on myself. So, there are certain things in my life certain places in my life that I don't want to be. It's not that I don't like myself. It's just that I'm impatient, very impatient when it comes to things that I want to do. So we'll see. Roy says the general Pattaya area has most everything you could want. Not many other places can compare. That's very true, and that's very often something that is forgotten about Pattaya, is that there is a lot more to do there than just the nightlife. A lot of people mistake it for just a nightlife place, although there's plenty of nightlife and it is very unique. There are many more things to do. And I says at Philthos, they are expanding the flying club to Bangkok, thus nets over the balconies and ASQ facilities. I hear you, man. And it says the Pattaya Flying Club, it's a funny phrase, but gets me down when I really think about its meaning. Yeah, but as long as you use your head and don't put yourself in a bad situation, you don't have anything to worry about. Philthos has made a comment that says, wow. Medtech says, I like Bangkok and Pattaya, perhaps because I don't live in a city in the West. I like cities in Asia. Fair enough. And then says, I think Bangkok is one of the greatest cities in the world. I agree with that statement. Love it, but not working / retired. I'd be afraid I would be very isolated in the big city. That's true, to a certain degree. That's very, very true. And it's something that you kind of have to learn how to work with or around. Anon says, to me, I love that they are perp walking the big shots that ran the clubs in Bangalore where this current O began. Yeah. We're going to talk about that in just a second. It's very interesting. Robert says, Roy, that's not good. Sorry I couldn't leave the comment up because you used the whole word. Yeah. So, Roy, in other words, don't be offended. Robert's just doing his moderation job. No worries there. Okay, let me read you what it says about spreaders to face legal action. This says, infected woman took local flight to South Thailand. It says, and this is from the Bangkok Post. Wait a minute. Let me see what Sick Puppy says. I will retire to Thailand for the food, weather, hot and humid beauty of the country, and the non-judgmental attitude of the people who live there. I love to party and will die partying in Pattaya. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I will caution you that there are judgmental people everywhere in the world, including here. But other than that, everything else you said sounds like a lot of fun, and I really hope you enjoy your retirement. Matt Tech says, I hope to see you there, Sicko. And I'm at Sick Puppy, like I tell my girlfriend, I don't care if I die as long as I die happy. There you go. Yes, if you avoid them, then you won't have a problem. So good for you, man. All right, here we go. This from the Bangkok Post. Legal action will be taken against entertainment businesses and people who recklessly spread it. A doctor, last name Sukri, chief of Nakhon Si Thammarat's public health office, said health officials are liaising with authorities in Bangkok in pressing charges against a patient who boarded a plane after being informed of her positive test result. He was referring to the province's 7th case, a 26-year-old woman who took flight to Nakhon Si Thammarat from Don Mueang Airport on April the 11th after she was told she was positive. The doctor said the patient who had caused havoc at the airports and anxiety among passengers would be charged with withholding information. Authorities will determine where the offenses were committed, and the patient will be summoned to answer charges there. He said she did not violate the law in Nakhon Si Thammarat as she informed authorities as soon as she landed. However, a private laboratory would also be held responsible for failing to notify the Department of, the CCSA, basically, to initiate the Q process. Based on the patient's timeline, she took the test at a private clinic on April 9th and was informed of the positive results on April 10th. She boarded an evening flight to Nakhon Si Thammarat the following day. In Phuket, 3 entertainment venues linked to the spread would face legal action. Police Lieutenant General Kittirat Panpet, I think, Chief of Provincial Police Region 8, said on Wednesday. A committee chaired by Phuket Deputy Police Chief, I can't say his name, has also been set up to follow up on the legal process and ensure all parties involved are held to account. So that was the 3 entertainment venues in Phuket that had mass gatherings, so to speak. In Chiang Mai, local authorities on Wednesday pressed charges against a hotel for allegedly failing to comply with the disease control measures after it failed to collect information from a guest who had traveled from a high-risk area. The guest checked in at the hotel in San Kampang district on April the 11th. A day after she took a test at a Bangkok hospital, she received test results, which was positive on the 12th. The District Disease Control Operations Center found the hotel had violated the province's disease control measures. So, people are actually being held legally accountable. There are the people in Bangkok who own 2 of the entertainment establishments are currently, to the best of my knowledge, sitting in jail, and they've been criminally charged with violating the emergency decree. So they're starting to get really, really, really strict with this stuff. Now, let me catch all the comments here. Robert says, Roy, that's not good. Sorry, I read that. Let's see. Sick Puppy says, he who dies owing credit card bills from partying in Pattaya wins the game. With a smile. I like that. Andy says that credit card comment is very funny. I'm sure there are expats living there beyond their means or close to the breadline. I'm sure there are too. MedTech says, have you visited the flower garden outside of Pattaya? I have, and I recorded a video on it, but at the time I was using a cheap memory card. It was a long time ago, and the file was corrupted. I could never get it to play, so I never had that one, but I would love to go back. And I says, DoMoreLife, these Hasso people who spread from the Crystal Club and Thonglor to places in Phuket, Hat Yai, Chiang Mai, and Hua Hin are finally being held to the law. Good. I'm okay with people being, their feet held to the fire. If they knowingly put other people in danger, I'm okay with that. I don't know the whole situation about the people that own the clubs in Bangkok. I'm not 100. I don't know the whole situation there, so I'm not sure that they deserve to be in jail. But if they violated the emergency decree and they were letting they didn't implement any type of restrictions or anything that Thailand has set forth, then yeah, You got to hold people accountable. I mean, you have to. Otherwise, things get out of control, like we're seeing right now. And it's so bad because Thailand was they were on the way up, man. They were on the way up. So I'm hoping that they get back on the way up very, very, very soon. Filto says, in the interest of kindness to Jeremy, I motion that we officially refer to all Thai officials by the titled field by Humana, since none of us can say their actual names, followed by like Commissioner Humana. We'll just listen to me slaughter them filthos. I just slaughter their names. I can't. I try. I'll do my best, man. Sick Puppy says, I am planning for October to return. I should get a good deal on renting a condo for a year. Yes, you should. Right now, Thai market's a good place. And there, Anon's left you a link to a good spot there. Sick Puppy. Sick Puppy says, anyone been to the Crystal Club? I'm interested in going there. And there's your link to the Crystal Club. I haven't seen you in here before, Sick Puppy, but this is what we do. We talk, we help each other, and hopefully we walk away more knowledgeable and just all around better people. I want to read you the Bloomberg report. This is the last piece of news, and then we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about, continuing the conversation. Thailand adds curbs as new wave threatens economy and tourism. Hang on, let me click out all the crap here. We read about let's read this first. Thailand banned the sale of alcoholic beverages in restaurants and closed schools for 2 weeks to stem the nation's biggest spread, likely delaying plans to further reopen borders to foreign tourists. They said likely, okay? And again, this is coming from Bloomberg. The closure of bars, pubs, karaoke, and massage parlors in areas including Bangkok, the epicenter of the latest cluster, will be extended nationwide until the end of April. A task force headed by the Prime Minister on Friday also designated Bangkok and 17 other provinces as areas under maximum control due to the severity. The PM ruled out harsher measures such as a nationwide lockdown and night curfews, citing, listen to this, citing the economic hit of such steps on low-income groups. The Southeast Asian nation had last week closed entertainment venues in Bangkok and 40 other provinces for at least 2 weeks to contain the nation's third time of infections that emerged from bars in the capital city. So this is telling you that they're actually really seeing the economic impact here. Under the fresh round of restrictions, restaurants, red zones, it gives everything I've already read you there. The PM said the government was in talks with magic shot makers, including Pfizer, Inc., and Russia's Gamaleya Institute to secure additional supplies as it seeks to inoculate 60% of its population by the end of the year. Any fresh procurement will supplement the 73 million doses already ordered from AZ and the Chinese one. The latest control measures dampen the annual Songkran festivities when millions of Thais travel across the country for family reunions and holidays and weaken private consumption and domestic tourism. An extended period of restrictions may delay plans to lure vaccinated, I didn't mean to say the whole word, magic shotted tourists and further weaken an economic recovery that the Thai Central Bank says is contingent on return of foreign visitors. So the Thai Bank is now admitting that the Thai Central Bank it says that the recovery is contingent on the return of foreign visitors. I remember back at the beginning, everybody was saying, Thailand doesn't need tourism. Thailand doesn't need foreign people. Thailand doesn't need tourism. And I think most of us that are familiar with Thailand. I've been living here officially 3 years and a few days, and I think we all know how important tourism is to Thailand, and this has really shown it. The new measures will hurt retail and recreation activities, which had returned to pre illness levels in recent months, and derail attempts to revive the all-important tourism industry. Moody's Analytics said in a report this week the economy will contract 0.6% in the first quarter from the previous 3 months. It said reversing an earlier forecast for 1.3% growth. Quote, we expect the Thai government to roll out additional stimulus to lessen the fallout from the illness. Eric Chang, associate economist at Moody's Analytics, said the report. Quote, Thailand will face a slow economic recovery, and the government deficit will remain elevated at 4.8% in 2021 and 3.2% in 2022. Then it goes on with a few more numbers there, and that's from Bloomberg. So just another example of why we need to try to, when I say we, people in general can try to get Thailand back on its feet as soon as possible. It's important. It really is. And for people like me who live here, I think that tourism coming back is going to be a very, very good thing. Now, Sig Puppy says, I was on your site back when I was in ASQ back in January. Okay. I enjoy your show. Thanks, man. Griffin says, time to sleep. Thanks for the information. You're welcome, buddy. Thanks for being a channel member and being involved, Griffin. I appreciate it. And I says, by the way, JC, you should look at using this news great site. Feedly.com makes it easy to go through all the news sources fast. I will do that. What's up, Gregory? Good to see you, man. Very, very, very good to see you. Let me get in here real quick, guys. Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to type in his link in my phone, and because I can't copy it straight off without going over to the phone, blah, blah, blah. This is Feedly.com. Feedly. There it is. Feedly.com. And somehow I want to save this website, and I will do that later. Thank you very much, Mr. Anon. Appreciate it. There's an app both for iPhone and Android. Awesome. I will get the app, and that'll be a good source of information for me for sure. So, who's ready to come to Thailand? Who's got plans to come? When are you coming? And what do you think about the information that you've heard today? Very, very interested to see what you guys think and to hear your opinions, to hear your thoughts. I can take a quick minute here to make a couple of announcements. There will be videos next week coming out. I'll just talk about the channel for a second. There will be videos coming out. There will be some that will be partial videos that you'll see on YouTube, and you will have to be a channel member in order to see the entire video. I don't do that just to get the $2.99 membership, but if you choose to become a channel member on this channel, you will get exclusive content that other people don't get. I've got many hundreds of pictures to edit, and I'll be working on them for a long time, of the Filipino shoot that I had recently. And I'll also have a video, at least for channel members. I'm not sure if she sent me a message last night. I'm not sure she wants to be publicly shown on YouTube, in a public setting. But I did tell her about channel members, and she was okay with that. So Very, very attractive young lady, super smart, and good moral compass. Think you guys will enjoy the content from that. You'll certainly enjoy the content from the day and from the scene and all that stuff. So, then I got the boat video coming up. I got the Fortune Town video coming up, and I will also have periodic videos if things change, if news changes, if any of that stuff goes. They implement more stuff. I'll certainly be around to update you. I'm thinking about going back to work early because my trip, as you all know, to Phuket and Samui was purposeless. And with these restrictions in place, it would be going just to see the beaches and that kind of thing. And I really wanted to go when everything was kind of popping a little bit. So, as we all know, I had to cancel all that, unfortunately. I'll check that out. But thanks, Anon. I will. That message caught me off track a little bit. So it's going to be looking at. I'm thinking about saving those holidays for October. So if I go back, I have a doctor's appointment on Monday. I'm just going to go get a checkup. After that, over the summer, I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm hoping that everything gets itself back on track, and maybe next year by this time, I won't be working as a teacher or living in Bangkok. I might be somewhere else in Thailand or perhaps even Vietnam. These are things I'm considering. So let's go to the comment section and see what you guys are talking about. Good to see you, Gregory. And I says there's an app. I will definitely get that. Booking flight /ASQ next week for mid-June. Cool. So are you going back to the, I guess you're going back to the States for a while and then coming back in June? That's cool. ETHAD, I never say that airline right. ETHAD for flight. Probably Centerpoint Salam again for ASQ. I heard that was a really nice ASQ hotel for real. Filtho says, I still want to get back to Thailand, but investigating Vietnam has seriously bumped up in my priorities before settling on a forever home. I have a friend, he was on the live stream yesterday that lives and works in Vietnam, and I'm seriously looking into it too, Filthos. It was my goal to travel Southeast Asia and live in these countries at least a year at a time, and learn about them, learn about the cultures, and kind of make that the channel and see what happens. But you never know what could happen. There is Mr. Jim Pell. Good to see you, brother. You got many thanks earlier. He says, how's the DoMoreLife family tonight? Sorry I'm running late. Had some major situation going on here in Tampa, Florida, but it's all good. Well, we certainly hope your major situations are well under control, sir. And we appreciate you very, very much. So thank you for stopping by, and thank you for everything you did yesterday. That was awesome. It's the Journey says, well, it sounds like summer will be the time to return once most citizens have received the V. Now seems like such an unpredictable time. It's probably I'll probably be in Bali before that. Biz visa policies are different. That's very true. Very, very true. And that's something else Thailand's looking at is some, for lack of a better term, like immigration reform, sort of. I'll get into that in another video. I talked about it yesterday a little bit. So they're looking like doing away with the 90-day reporting and doing some stuff that makes it more expat friendly to live here and come here in Thailand. Possibly easing some of the restriction or some of the financial measures on retiring here, things like that. They're just looking at it. It's all proposals. Nothing's been written. Nothing's in law at this time. I think that's a good plan. It's the journey. I think that's a good plan. Because yes, it is very unpredictable now. And if you can get into Bali, and see, that's another thing that I talked about yesterday. I'm always worried about people finding other places to go than Thailand. And, if Thailand keeps everything shut down long enough, or if this keeps happening over and over again, people are going to find other places to go. And, I hope for Thailand's sake that doesn't happen. Andy says, I'll come to Thailand, Bangkok, and Pattaya as soon as the Oz government opens the border. Boffins think it won't be until March 22. I am also down the list to get the jab, which doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help. But hey, at least you'll get here, man. Let's see. Roger says, Jim, good morning. Jim says, hey, Roger. Filtho says, hey there, Jim Pell. I think there was a match challenge for a DoMoreLife Tesla car earlier. Just saying. I like that. Anon says, got my global entry for the U.S. and APEC business travel card for Asia. Looking forward to leveraging both once this lockdown mess is finished. I cannot blame you, brother, and congratulations on the global entry and the APEC. That's awesome. Very, very good. Whoever this Jeremy J is, I didn't say I was going back to teach. I said I was going back to work. I think the measures that surround teaching apply to me just as much as they apply to any other teacher in Bangkok or anywhere for that matter. So I'm a teacher, therefore I have lesson plans. I have content to create. I have other things to do than just teach. So I didn't say I was going back to teach. I said I was going back to work. Tim says, does the powers that be in Thailand understand the importance of foreigners in Thailand as in regards to their economy? I think that it's really starting to hit home. Tim, that's a great question, by the way. It's been a weird, slightly uncomfortable time to be in Thailand. Initially because it was, you didn't really feel comfortable as a foreigner, or I didn't, here for a long time. And I think that the overwhelming sense now is that, foreigners come in and help the Thai economy grow. And therefore, you need some foreigners to come in. Thailand seemed, I could be wrong here. This is just my opinion. I'm not speaking out against Thailand in any way, but they seem to have put more when they were doing all this restructuring and wanting to get travel packages in and bring people back in. They seem to focus on the Hasso people more and the Chinese, which, it doesn't really make a whole bunch. It doesn't really logically. If you think about it, it just doesn't pan out right because you can get the quantity to outdo the quality here. I know that that's very. I can't really talk about it, is what I'm trying to say, because I live here, and because I live here, it would be beyond me to say anything negative about the initial reaction that the Thai government had to try to get big spenders in here to spend money. Just not a good. I didn't think that was a good plan, and I think Thailand, seeing that just getting people back in here needs to be the priority. And if that is the case, kudos to them. If it's not the case, kudos to them. I'm not here to criticize the Thai government's decisions in any way. I'm a guest in this country. If I don't like what's going on, I can leave. That simple. Anon says, at Andy, holistic trainer got back into Thailand. I think it is he got in a different class of visa than tourism, thus Oz let him out. That's true. Very true. Andy, I forgot about that, Anon, to tell you the truth. But yes, he came back from Australia. Law says, Jim Pale, how was that soup today? You said after last night you would be at the soup kitchen today. Anon says, I think they are really wanting to get retirees in to spend long-term money, and it sounds like they may try to change rules for digital nomads as well. At least that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing the same thing, and I'm all about doing some digital nomad stuff. I don't know what that would include, but well, right now I couldn't make a living off just YouTube anyway. I would have to do some other things, which I could come up with, but I like the digital nomad idea myself. I think that would be a way for Thailand to really increase its revenue, and also the retiree, as you said, for the long-term spending. I think both of those will. I think we'll see some sort of changes in both those categories in the future to come. I certainly hope so. Andy says, thanks for the tip. I'll work full-time, so it would only be for a month holiday. Therefore, ASQ 2 weeks isn't feasible. Don't blame you, Andy. Don't blame you there. Philtho says, I haven't heard any Thai officials complain about the stinky foreigners who don't shower enough lately. I haven't either. That's for sure. Maybe it's because there's not a whole lot of foreigners here right now. I don't know. And I still laugh about that silly comment made last summer. I don't even remember that comment being made, but oh yes, I do. I remember that. That was a haven't heard anything from that health minister in a long time. I can imagine. Probably didn't put foreigners in a good place in terms of coming to Thailand. I also think you'll see a limitation on the lower end of the foreigner tourism spectrum, such as backpackers, and I don't think you'll see any backpackers living on the streets or living on the side, sleeping on Kosan Road anymore, or Khaosan Road. They've completely remodeled that. That reminds me, that's something I can do while I'm on vacation here, is go down there and record the new Khaosan Road and what it looks like. I can definitely do that. And it says the guy was comparing Farang to clean tourists like Chinese and Koreans. I could really say some stuff about that, but I'm not going to. That would probably be bad. So, does anybody have any questions about anything we went over today? Any curiosities? Any theories you'd like to throw out? Because I'm all about hearing some theories, or some changes that would be implemented by what you believe the Thai government would do. And I'm definitely going to download this Feedly app for sure, and check it out, because you seem to have the drop on news as soon as I get it, or before I get it in many cases. David says, so much negative news media all around the world. People and media just want to have a problem. David, you are so correct. I think all around the world, the media as a whole, and I don't really know about the Thai media here because I don't speak Thai, so I don't know what the media really says. But I can tell you in other parts of the world, especially in the western part of the world, mainstream media has become just I mean, reckless, to be honest with you, reckless. And Philthos has a concern. But I think the recklessness of the media is a problem, and always drumming up drama for ratings is a problem. And I'm talking about all mainstream media. This is not political. I'm talking about mainstream media in general. They drum up stuff, and it's unnecessary, and it doesn't really solve anything. It just creates more problems. So I hope that gets better in the future as well. I hope people in higher positions make better decisions when it comes to narratives that they put out. I would like to see news go back to just factual information where they actually provide sources of where they got their information. That would be fantastic. Philthos, what is your concern? I'm waiting to hear, sir. Definitely waiting to hear. And it says, here's a link, thailawforum.com. I will have to check that out. Let me try to, I wonder if I can open that in another window. Open link in new tab. Okay, I'm gonna. Very interesting. Very interesting. I see it in the new tab. I'll take a look at it after the stream, man. I'm gonna remove it because I see it's got the C word comes straight up. Or did you already remove it? You removed it. Okay. Thank you, sir. But I got it, and I'll check it out. I'll check it out and see if there's any information I can make a video around. Oh no, you didn't remove it. Let me remove that link right there. Or did you remove it? Oh, yeah, he removed it. Okay. Don C's in the house. Let's see. What did Philthos say? Any favorable changes for Disney as a turn to be durable, or they change again after the over there? Oh, it's because you got the S word in there. I hope that there will be. I gotta remove that one, Philthos. Well, let me see. How do I do that? I don't think I can. I just think I can see it. That's all. I think there will be favorable changes to digital nomads and retirees, and they will be durable. However, it is always a possibility that the Thai government could go backwards on that at any time. Just saying. It's the Journey says, I think they really just want to keep Thai citizens safe navigating this. Ooh, can't use the P word. Can't use the P word. Yeah. Can't use the P word. It's the Journey. Sorry. Don C's in the house. Hello, and thank you, my brother. I really, really, really appreciate it. You being here again. Jim dropped by, and thank you for creating an awesome day yesterday. Really, 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 really appreciate you, man. And we're still delivering more news today. We delivered the verdict on everything. It's good to see you, and thank you for being here. Super, just enormous amounts of gratitude to you, Don, and to Jim for just and Roger, everybody that had anything to do with yesterday. I just enormous amounts of gratitude. I slept well last night, and I really appreciate it. Philthos said, and will they pay more attention to prosecuting, preventing the many scams perpetrated against visitors that have been winked at in the past? That is an excellent question. I would think I heard an article, or I read an article many weeks ago, actually several months ago, that was written by someone in the Thai government, I can't remember the exact details of it, but it specifically said, treat tourists nice, don't scam them, don't do this, don't do that. Because if you scam them and they find out about it, they're not going to come back to your business. And that's true. Nobody wants to go back to a business that scams somebody out. Don C's running a family channel here. Yeah, we're trying to keep it we're definitely trying to keep it we try to keep it PC, but it's all good. It's all good. Phil Post is a long-term member here. He understands what happened. And says it's the journey every week. Try Baltimore or Chirac each hour. I hear you. Don C says, LOL, it was my pleasure. Closer to your new laptop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely closer to the laptop. 100% appreciate that. And it's awesome. Mr. Journey said, I removed it. Jeremy forgot about that. It's no problem. No problem. Don't take offense to it in any way, form, or fashion. It's just, like I said, it's just YouTube. It's not me. We keep it clean for that reason. And the things that are not clean are in the channel members section. And as I said earlier, in case some of you channel members were not in here, that I got 2 videos coming for you before the end of the month. And plus we need a members only live stream before the end of the month, which I will be announcing the time and date of that shortly, 100% shortly. So another successful live stream today, guys. I really appreciate everyone tuning in and being a part of the DoMoreLife family. In terms of, somebody asked me yesterday, what equipment do you need? Well, my iPhone 5, not iPhone 5, my iPhone 7 Plus is pretty much dead. I have to argue with it every day to get it to do anything. So the iPhone, I'm just going to go ahead and get the iPhone 12 Pro. I don't see any reason to get the Pro Max and spend that extra money. But the iPhone 12 Pro will be my first thing that I get. It will also change the vlogging of this channel because I can take it with me and vlog anywhere, rather than having to put a camera out and a camera up in my face. Simply hold the phone up or put it on a little mini tripod and talk to it. I've seen people do it. Many successful vloggers do it on their iPhone 11 Pros. So I'm certain that I can do it on the iPhone 12 Pro. Also takes amazing pictures, time lapses, hyperlapses. So the vlogging will be better, and I can shoot more content at a faster pace with possibly better quality video. After that, we're going to get a computer that will last at least 3 to 5 years. And that's going to be a Mac, and it's probably going to be one of the new MacBook Pros, the 14-inch, the cheaper of the two. Should be around $1,500-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. And because the Mac has switched to the M1 chip, and I got to tell you, it's I'm really excited about getting that new. I may even go with a MacBook Air, to be honest with you, and keep it really cheap, because this new chip that Apple has designed is unbelievable. And for any tech heads, I encourage you to check it out. So that's kind of what's up with the channel. Let me catch the comments here. Let's see, says, Loss is 20 up, 2 down. Yesterday, 66 up, 4 down. Well, we don't have as many people as we did yesterday, and that's okay. Not a problem. We kind of caught everybody off guard yesterday. Robert says, become a channel member here. You can click that link, and that will take you directly to the channel member section. And for a whopping $2.99 a month, you can become a channel member, and you can get access to everything. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. You can read about it and all that stuff. Hex Famous says, one word, Phuket. I I'm not in Phuket. It's the journey. N9555 US has serious issues. Thing is, due to American exceptionalism, they don't think so. That's why I'm south of the border now. Needed to decompress from the madness. Heading to Bali in 45. Fair enough. 7 days for those with the jab. By the way, use either jab magic shot or V rather than the full word. Agreed. Wait 3 days for the Mac, Robert said. The Mac that I'm gonna get's not even out yet, brother. And I said it's the journey. American exceptionalism may be a cause for no place better, but I think a whole lot of people see the serious issues. Can agree with that. Can definitely agree with that. And Andy says, dang, I noticed your subs at 29K. Last time I looked, it was around 8K. Yeah, we've grown a little bit. Looking to hit that 30,000 mark, and I'll be pretty happy at 30,000. We had made a goal to get to 30,000. Well, I made a goal to get to 30,000 by May 13th, and there's a reason for that. We'll be having a vlog of some type for May 13th, and that's when I will celebrate 10 years of sobriety. And I'm very, very excited about that. It's less than a month away, and I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Philtho says, hey, there was a notice sent out for tonight's stream. Wondering if I'm the only one who missed it. I think a lot of people missed it. I actually, I don't know. People can comment on that. If tonight's stream was not, if you didn't get a notice, then make sure to go to my channel, or where you see the subscribe button, there's a bell. Click on that bell and then click all. If you click all, that means you'll get every notification that this channel, every piece of content that comes out. What's up, Prim? Good to see you, man. Thank you. It's the journey. I appreciate that. It has been a long time for sure. And with that being said, guys, I'm not going to hold you guys up. We only have 17 people watching at this point. No real reason to continue here, because we've been over all the information, and I've gotten some good information again from the family here, and I appreciate it very, very much. Anon says, Hex Famous, they were talking about no queue for those with the V coming to Phuket starting in July. The current developments causing them to delay that plan. Excellent. Excellently worded there, Anon. Lyle says, fill those in. Got it. So he must have got the notification. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube sends them out. Sometimes they don't. We'll see how this one plays out for sure. When I'm doing the, when I'm tagging and titling and that kind of thing, sometimes I hit it well. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes that's what happens. Thanks, Jay. Have a good day. You have a great day as well. It's the journey, and take care of yourself. Good luck decompressing, and well, not good luck. Have fun decompressing, and enjoy your travels to Bali. And please feel free to drop by the live stream anytime. We'll have another one at the same time tomorrow, and that'll wrap up live streams for the week. And to all of you who have participated in today's live stream, my moderators and my channel members, and people who have passed along information that others will no doubt learn from, I want to thank you all for being here. And I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Bangkok time, 10 p.m. It'd be 9 a.m. on Sunday, Bangkok time, 10 p.m. Saturday night on the East Coast. I look forward to seeing everybody then. Thank you guys all for stopping by and contributing to the channel. I really appreciate all the information and the great discussion that we had today. Whatever you do today, please find a way to do more life. Thanks, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.